A very good evening, one and all, on behalf of the trustees, management, principal, HODs, staff, and the students of SA Engineering College. I extend a warm welcome to one and all present in this virtual platform. To know more about our college, SA Engineering College was established in the year 1998 and is successfully continuing its educational service beyond 25 years of excellence. SA Engineering College has taken the forefront of technical education through its distinctively different and carefully nurtured standards. The college is approved by the AICT in New Delhi and affiliated to Anna University, accredited by NBA, has an A grade from the NAC and also an ISO 9001 2015 certified institution. The college believes in preparation for life ahead in all earnest and provides every opportunity to grow beyond academics. In view of the same, many in house programs like placement trainings, value added courses, workshops, symposiums, and guest lectures are also organized to make the students industry ready. We all have assembled here today. Twenty-three, Best Intellectual Property Rights Holder Award 2022, Young Investigator Award 2016. He is also a member in the United Research Forum, advisory board member in ACTA Scientific Computer Sciences, holding memberships in Arcade, Scopus, Google Scholar, Microsoft, and various other memberships. He also is an expert reviewer in biomolecules and biotechnology journals, innovative teacher, ACARS Foundation. He has also reviewed 101 manuscripts in 2021, 16 manuscripts in 2020, and 7 manuscripts in 2019, and various other reviews. Now, I call upon Dr. Harish Chandar Anandaraman to give an expert talk on career guidance. We welcome you to the Tech Series 3.5.
Well, thanks for the detailed introduction. I think I can share my screen, right? Well, is the screen visible what I'm sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope the screen is visible now. The main objective is to explore the career of a student, and many people don't understand the differentiation between the terms a job and a career. A job is something, it's a mandate for everyone. We need to do it at one point of time. And a career is something which we need to do it out of our own interest. A career cannot be mandated by anyone. Only out of our own interest we can do it. And then 80% of the students change their major role once while in a college. The main thing is that they are forced into a job, and due to various reasons they need to stick on to certain things, and they start changing their career, and most of them change in twice or thrice. The main reason is they find a novel or a different major which values their interest, and the next thing is the practical association related to the bills and associated aspects. Another thing is the right questions were not asked in the initial stage itself. Unless and until we ask a right question, we can't update the process. And then the listening of outsiders and other influences, that's not the way. It's out of our own passion and interest we need to look into a career. All those things will not give us the right direction. And mainly what happens with the outside influence in the sense, most people refer their friends to have a sound career. But what looks good for your friend might not look good for you and might not be the path which you need to take. So you can have a discussion with them, but when it comes to decision making, it's up to us. And then the interaction with the experts, because today you might meet an expert from one area and tomorrow you meet from another area, so you keep confusing to get into a fixed streamlined path. So it takes time to get it, and finally the decision we need to make, like we should take full responsibility to stand on our decision. And then the influence of parents, that happens everywhere, and we can't do much about it. Parents influence has to be considered, but should not be given complete authoritativeness, because if you're not interested and if you're giving complete authoritativeness, that also might not extend a career in a proper way. And we need to explore a lot. The main thing is that first your interest, the next is the career related goal, and then the proper planning. And how to determine your interest is, everybody cannot be good at everything. Everyone is unique. So what we like, what values more to us, what motivates us, and how to be curious. And for everything, there is a process. Without a process, we can't expect a product. So there is a process, and then the further development associated with the process determines the interest. And next is the career discovery. And the first is how to choose a field of your interest and whether the job which you like is really interested to you, or it's not of that much interest. And then you want to change work environment or something related to that, and how the research career gets extended out of the interest. Is it only the basic job, or some R&D is into your job or not? All those things need to be considered to discover the career. And then the goal planning. And obviously, it's better to have good resources to pursue the option. And then we have a lot of challenges in pursuing it in the job market. And finally, we need to address the relative model, and then it's up to us to make a final decision. And you can see a lot of aspects associated with the career, the employment rate, the interviewing panel resource, and the biodata you get for the acute model, and the advice you take from seniors. All those things have bits and pieces to explore, but not much. Because if you're giving more priority to everything, then you will be lost. You give priority, but not much. And then, with respect to the benefits of career planning, in colleges, most people used to ask this question: short and long term goals. But it has to be a very good, perfect goal. You can define short and long term after defining the main goal, and then exploring the fewer transfers and switching off majors and relative aspects based on your degree. And it's up to us to graduate on time, because keep on extending the graduation is not going to help anyone. And then we need to be motivated and focused for the work which we are doing. And then we need to prove ourselves that we achieve good grades in the academics. And then after graduation, we need a better job with a better income. And then we need to be satisfied with the career we have chosen. We should not be keep on comparing the salaries and other things with the careers and aspects. And then the career change, no, it is better to have one or two changes, but keep on changing career. That also will not have a good growth. So the advancements cannot be faster in your career. And of course, the consequences which were not planned properly will be more cost. Why? Because keep on switching majors and keep on paying bills for your majors will not be a good choice. And then the feeling of being trapped in a major without a complete understanding about the major, and changing the college consistently and having a dropout and extending it once again, and all those things will not be a good choice to get things. And finally, so the answer is simple, because first we need to have the right question to give a right answer. The kind of questions you ask determines the kind of a person you are. And then most of the questions are open-ended only, but there are certain questions which has to be closed-ended. You can't avoid it. And what kind of question we ask also decides the major and the related subject which we do. So the main aspect of career plan is the aptitude, work value, and the interest. So your career is supported. I hope the Venn diagram you remember from your school days tells you a lot of things. And then we need to develop a personality, interest, and the value which we have and we work for. And the key aspects involved here is the focus type, self-directed search, and the next move. So finally, the six personalities which we come across basically are the realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. All careers will fix into these six personalities, and a person with these personalities will only choose the related career. And all these personality types were done in a research in Holland. And the theory is simple. The career choice is an extension of personality's enhancement of a person. And then how you can find it out is you can give a poster and ask him to choose a choice related to the model. And the next activity can be a worksheet. And then you can have some relative codes to identify the worksheet map. And this is how the personality and the career work out. And the main fact is that it's not always earning higher grades, persisting the perfect choice in a major. It's also having a value for a person. The best example is nobody remembers a Nobel laureate in the next year. The main thing is that Nobel Prize is a very good award in science, and similarly, Oscar is a very good award in media. But the next year, do we remember them? Why? Because the legacy is more important than the awards which we have. And obviously, the college majors we pursue also have a relative role in our personality. It can be either a social or an artistic level. So students are responsible for making their education and decision, and the career is related to lifestyle fulfillment, leisure, and everything, not only the money alone. So the exploration involves the potential by seeking guidance to start a career path and to have a very good reward in the future. So I'm done with the presentation and queries you can ask. Well, there are a lot of handbooks and references for career, and to have some outline of the career reference books from the famous institutes. I have one from US, that's the MIT standard, and one from UK. Am I audible? Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in these aspects, you can even refer the queries and the appointments and the relative aspects. And you have the student professional development competencies also. And now, as a part of the national education policy and the modern curriculum system, even students are encouraged to have startups and some related projects. And because due to the lack in the number of jobs and the number of graduates, most people try to become entrepreneurs. That is also a very good opportunity to have it. Based on your degree, you can be a technical entrepreneur. It's not that only a business-based entrepreneur. You can be a technical entrepreneur also, so that you can look into the career guideline and the related aspects. So the key aspect is the advancements, communication, interpersonal skill, leadership and mentoring, personality development. Career advancements is associated with the expansion of the discipline, self-advocative nature, and in communication we do have listening skills and expression of the skills in a coherent manner, present information to a wide audience, and when it comes to interpersonal skills, even people who apply for the postdoctoral fellowships have this question called the interpersonal skills nowadays. And in the interpersonal skills, we interact, the way we work, and the way various roles are being understood. And then we effectively navigate the cross culture, and we do negotiate conflict and identify problems related to it. And we do the leadership mentoring related activity to develop strategic plans, to identify the group dynamics, and to motivate others. And finally, the relationships associated with knowledge enhancement and the relationship associated with experience is more important.
Permission எல்லாம் கொடுத்துட்டு அதை அப்புறம் ஆஃப் பண்ணுங்க. Permission
Ah,
எல்லாம்
yes. Yeah. Yeah, please. Any query you have? If you have a query, please. You can even use the chat box. I can do both text as well as voice-based query solving aspect. And then we do have social responsibility to work on the ethics and recognize the environment related aspects in our projects and consider the government norms. And when it comes to teaching, we need to have an evidence-based practice, and we need to evaluate the assessments and involves job search, self-assessment, exploration, focus. So in the job search only, we have the resumes, interviews, and then when it comes to self-assessment, it's the interest, skills, values. And finally, in the exploration, we have various career to get fit into the job interest which we seek. And obviously, the subtitles for these major areas are self-knowledge, empowerment needs, and internships. And like this, we also can have a self-assessment of ourselves, the clues to get trained, accomplishment inventory related models, how to describe our accomplishment, why we are proud, the skill sets required, and the relative aspects. And you can see the self-assessment skill inventory. For the skills related to working with people, we have these many skills. We hardly know two or three, when I know one or two. And then for the working with materials and objects and things, we have the relative skills. And then finally, when it comes to the data transformation, the information technology, and we do have all these skills. So data science is an extension of all these developmental models and get into work. And we do have the functional skill to orient all the aspects. And finally, we do have the work value inventory for helping the society, others, public contact, friendship, and how to deal with work pressure and power and relative aspects should also be there. And we need to be creative enough in the works we do and the level of aesthetics we perform. The main success involves proper clarification, refinement, specialization, skill enhancement, decision making, and the graduate model. And obviously, the choice of major involves the appeal area of study, the level of challenge we have, the characteristics associated, courses within the major, and the internship programs, relative skills for it. And finally, the family, peers, and outside influences do have it, and we can have a minor percentage for it. And then we need to have other factors also, whether they involve directly or indirectly, to make a better decision. And we have a timeline for everything so that a relative timeline can be for yours also. The thing is that it's not the stream we select is going to be completely deciding future. It's the precautions we take in selecting our stream and gain a lot of exposure in our stream, develop competencies, and only those things are going to enhance our skills. So when it comes to the jobs that you can work on the internship, research, and service related jobs, and finally the abroad study or travel or any defense related jobs also can be taken after graduation if you are really very much interested in it. And then it's better to do networking with friends and connecting with online friends regarding the expert guidance in a particular area. And then we can have our own informational interviews. Just we can have some mock interviews before the campus recruitment or other things to get ourselves trained. And some informal interviews also we can ask our friends to keep it for us. And then we can take the help of social media to enhance a lot of skills. Nowadays, things like Coursera and Udemy, NPTEL, and all those skill development courses to teach us a lot of things. And not but not least, the MIT Legacy, the best open courseware which I've seen. And it's better to have LinkedIn to have a professional network, because in LinkedIn I met very good experts in my field, and a lot of guidance from them has molded me here. And a lot of good things you can also get from LinkedIn, professional networking platform. And finally, you can see the bachelor's, master's, and PhD students in the job fair, career, networks, and relative aspects. And the main aspect is we need to prepare ourselves, and then having a proper dress code, and then regular follow-ups with respect to the relative parts, and the possible questions to ask an employer at a job fair, where to how long they work, and what are all the USP of the company, and do they have really a career growth in it. And finally, when it comes to the elevator pitch, the goal we have and the clarity we have towards the focus and the strength, as well as the complement with respect to our work. And finally, it's the listener who has to raise a question. Always the presenter cannot be asking, please tell your questions for the listeners. And then when it comes to resume writing, the main objective is to have your skills written first. And then we continue the resume with the past statements as a development of our skills. And then the usage of action verbs. And finally, the checklist with along with the application we have for the job. And you can have some sample resumes. That is the first year, master's, bachelor's, as well as the related resumes. So MIT has given a detailed guideline for us to work it out. See the education experience and the relative aspects you have in your resume holds the key. And you have a PhD sample resume also, a mechanical engineer guy. You can see his experience is different from the bachelor's or the master's experience. And you can see the alum resume sample. And the main guidelines to prepare your CV is to identify a proper information. Education is mandatory, and then your dissertation, that is the thesis, and then the area of interest, specialization, experience. Suppose you get any fellowships, awards, or honors, and if you are a member in any professional affiliation, and then the key focus in your language, and then the number of publications and presentations you work with. All these are vital factors in building. The main difference between a curriculum vitae and the resume is that curriculum vitae gives the complete list of the professional and educational history. A resume is a selection of your experience and skills which are more specific to the job, and it can be of very high page, but this should have a limit. And the main advantage of having a resume is the complete academic related information can be captured, but in the resume it's only the outside academic research interest which will be captured. And whether do we need to include publications in curriculum vitae, it's complete. Only a partial list, that is recent one, can be included. The style layout is not that much important. Only the content matters the more. Decent normal style can be given. And in case of CV, you can type the references. In case of resume, it's not required. So you can see the sample curriculum we take here. Then you can see the covering letter. Some jobs require a covering letter. Okay. I hope till now there is no queries, right, from your end. You can able to understand whatever I speak. And any language also, please let me know. Suppose you're comfortable in, because Hindi I know a little and Tamil I know very well. If anyone wants any clarification in Tamil also, I can give. Okay, then you have a lot of references and reviews for it. And the general structure we need to remember when attending in the interviews, whether the type of interviews either by the phone call or by the in person, or the style of interview, whether it's a technical or behavior or case study based, and then the structure of the interview related to our work, and the policies with respect to on-campus interview and relative aspects. And then this is a basic rating metrics which they have fixed in the interview. Like that, similar metrics we can also fix for the critical thinking, teamwork, problem solving, model leadership. And the tips for the interview is to have a basic research of the organization, practice a mock, and have a strong first impression about yourself to the employer. And be specific in your answers. Don't keep on elaborating something else. And the behavior which they expect in most of the industry is that the teamwork, the proper decision making, and the related communication, management skills, and problem solving. And the case interview is going to test is your brain teasers. I hope most of the people who prepare this aptitude will come across the term brain teasers, and then the quantitative aspects and case study in the projects. And all these rounds will be taken care by the interviewer in a proper manner. And then in case of the technical interviews, we need to refresh our skills. We need to mentally prepare for the technical questions, and a proper communication is required. And then the difference between the video and phone interviews is given here. Because in video interview, you need to be a little more careful than the phone interview. And on-site interview also involves a lot of mental preparation and human resource aspects and relative outlines. And the sample interview questions, as we all know, personal assessment, behavioral question, tell about yourself as a personal assessment, and tell about a time when you met some good personality or a different personality. And then we can also ask some basic questions to the interviewer. It's not only he can ask. You can ask something related to the training they give for the employee, the position, and the assessment which they're going to do for us. And then when it comes to the etiquette, all the concepts of impression, recruitment, prompt respect, understanding ourselves and what we are going to say, and all those things matter. And how to choose between offers, we need to have a critical analysis for it. So we need to start by looking at the salary range and our job interest, and how to negotiate the job properly if we don't want it. And how to decline in a proper manner. The other way of putting it is art of saying no, and how to apply it to the graduate schools, how to write a statement of purpose, because some schools they require a statement of purpose for joining there. It should be a consolidated aspect of your research experience and the transition of our works from school to college. And when it comes to faculty, it's a different setup. The academic CV is completely different from an industrial CV. And in academic CV, we have a application section, research statement, and a covering letter. And you have a sample statement of the research interest which people have, and a sample statement of the teaching philosophy and relative aspects. Well, any doubts till now? I told right. When it comes to language, even Tamil and Hindi is not a barrier. English is also fine. But unless and until you ask doubts, I will not be in a position to convey it properly. Because what I am telling, whether you have understanding or not, is my concern now. Okay, with respect to the internship and placements, well, based on the specific field you have chosen, you do have a lot of internship opportunities in many companies. And then, if you're performing well in the internship in the company, they themselves can recruit for the placement. The companies which I know in data science or Bosch is a good place to do it. And similarly, there are a lot of companies like Bosch to work it out. And when it comes to bioinformatics, Schrodinger is a good company to do an internship. I hope I have answered based on your specialization. I can guide you better. Well, the roadmap is simple. If your college has an MOU, you can go through them, or else you need to send an email to them, wait for the response for 1 or 2 days. If you're not getting it, better to call them and ask how they are going for the process. And we need to approach them twice or thrice to get the job done. No, they go for us. I hope the question is answered. It's not only the farm companies, any companies, the approach is the same. If you require more explanations, please let me know. Well, thanks for the feedback.
Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and sharing your knowledge, sir. The session was
Thank you.
mind-blowing and informative.
Thanks a lot.
And now it's time for quiz. The participants are requested to log on with another device as it will be useful to attend the quiz. The quiz link is provided in the chat box. Participants can make use of it.
Hi guys, this is quiz time. All the participants can go to a browser and type www.kahoot.it and enter your PIN 6265405. I repeat, all the participants go to your browser and type www.kahoot.it and enter your game PIN as 6265405. Okay, let's start our quiz. The smallest integer function f of x equal to x is 1 to 1, many to 1, both a and b, none of this. I repeat, the smallest integer function f of x equal to x is Ramya is in first position with the score of 796. The next question. The area of right angle of given hypotenuse is maximum when the triangle is scaled equal to isosceles, none of this. I repeat, the area of right angle triangle of the given hypotenuse is maximum when the triangle is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. 9 numbers are answered correctly. Shatwik in first position with a score of 1304. Next question. Objective function of LPP is a constant, a function to be optimized, a relation between variables, none of this. I repeat the question. Objective function of a LPP is 3, 2, 1. Time's up, guys. 6 numbers are answered correctly. Again, Shatwik in first position, score of 2183. The function f of x equal to 2x plus 5 is increasing, strictly decreasing, monotonically increasing, monotonically decreasing. I repeat the question. The function f of equal to 2x plus 5 is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Types of guys. 14 members are answered correctly. Again, short week in first question with the score of 2,950. The surface considered for Gauss law is called closed surface, spherical surface, Gaussian surface, plane surface. I repeat the question. The surface considered for Gauss law is called closed surface, spherical surface, Gaussian surface, plane surface. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 members are answered correctly. Again, short information. The force per unit charge is known as electric flux, electric field, electric potential, electric current. I repeat the question. The force per unit charge is known as electric flux, electric field, electric potential, electric current. Eight members are answered correctly. Now, Irup in first position with the score of 3,514 points. The unit of electric dipole moment is Newton Coulomb per dB. I repeat the question. The unit of electric dipole moment is Newton Coulomb per dB. Time going on, guys. Okay, one number correctly answered. Nirup in first question with the score of 1,514 points. The boiling point of azeotropic mixture of water and ethanol is less than that of water and ethanol. The mixture shows no deviation from Raoult's law, positive deviation from Raoult's law, negative deviation from Raoult's law, that the solution is unsaturated. I repeat the question. The boiling point of azeotropic mixture of water and ethanol is less than that of water and ethanol. The mixture shows seven members answered correctly. Again, Nirup in first position with the score of 4,211 points. The Van Hofer one account for degree of solubilization solute, the extent of dissolution of solute, the extent of dissolution of solute, the degree of decomposition of solution. I repeat the question. The Van Hoff factor one account for four members answered correctly. Niru in first position with the score of 4,211 points. The last question: which of the following is most acidic? Phenol, benzyl alcohol, chlorophenol, chlorohexanol. I repeat the question. Which of the following is most acidic? Phenol, benzyl alcohol, M chlorophenol, cyclohol. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the 6 members are answered correctly. Let's move to the podium. Third place goes to Pavan with the score of 3,897. Second place goes to Vidya. And the first place goes to Bo with a score of 4,946. Thank you, guys.
The participants are requested to fill the feedback form which is being shared in the chat box. The participants will also be provided with an e-certificate. I'm grateful to the esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and efforts in making this event a great success. I also extend my sincere thanks to our honored resource person, Dr. Harish Chandra Anandaram, and I would also like to express my gratitude to the management, principal sir, and the heads of the departments of Humanities and Science, CSC, IT, ECE, EEE, AIDS, AIML, Civil, Mechanical, CSBS, and Security. Thank you for making this event a great success.